to Sport Extraordinary on Atlantic Television Network. My name is Kingsley Manuel, and I'm very happy to be here this evening to bring you up to speed with the latest happening evolving around the waters. So for that menu this evening, Team Rivers increased medal tally in national after a short time out. Please stay with us. Welcome back as the Sports Extraordinary on Atlantic Television Network. Joining me on today's edition of the show is games. Team Lagos yesterday hammered Team Kaduna 5-0 to reach the finals of the male football event at the ongoing 7th National Youth Games in Asaba. In the semi-final match played at the Fashi Uku Stadium, Lagos State dominated proceedings as they scored 4 goals in the first half. In the same vein, Team Lagos also recorded the finals in football events. Therefore, Team Lagos will be represented in both the male and female football finals as slated for today as well. Let's stay away from Team Lagos as we take a look at all the happenings at the National Youth Games. The president of Nigerian Rugby Football Federation, Dr. Ademola Are, has commended the 16 teams that participated in the rugby events at the ongoing 7th National Youth Games in Asaba, Delta State capital. The president, speaking on the sideline of the just concluded rugby 7 of the games where Delta State emerged champions in both male and female categories, said it is a signpost of what is to come. The sports with 16 teams participating in the competition. Former director of grassroots sports in Federal Ministry of Sport Development said the federation under his watch will not relent in leveraging the senior national team Black Stallions performance recently. What do you make of it? Rugby, of course, is a growing sport in Nigeria, and this time around we're seeing rugby now in the National Youth Games. I think it's an opportunity, of course, to unearth talent when it comes to rugby in the country.
Sure. If there's anything to go by from what the president just said, I think they are moving in the right direction because rugby is one sporting event that I think we have not been able to make a very strong statement whenever we go any major competition or championship out there in the rugby sector. But I think the president is up and doing this time around. Let's just hope that these young kids, so that for them to, become the mainstay of the national team so that we can be able to boost of a good rugby team whenever we are having a very major tournament out there. Because Nigeria, if you want to take a look at our history in rugby, I don't think we have been able to, be that very strong, contender whenever we go for any national, championship out there. So for me, I believe that they can put their, eyes on ground.
All states talked about
The news. If there's anything to go by from that news that we had, though, it was our correspondent that was reporting live from the main bowl of the event. So it seems there's, I strongly believe that it will defeat the whole essence of this championship if overage, athlete is allowed to take part in an underage competition such as this national youth game that is built for, that is meant to be within the age limit of 15 years downward. And we had some report that there are some persons that have maneuvered their way, and these persons are over 20 years old. I mean, it defeats the complete everything possible to punctuate the effort and the main purpose of this championship. I think for me, it doesn't speak good of Delta State if actually this is true, because like I said, it defeats the whole essence of this competition.
All right, it's not a very good one because we expected that the introduction of the NIN will actually help, of course, in curbing the issue of age cheat. But at the end of the day, the NIN is still not good enough, at this point for what we're seeing.
It was very laughable when I heard that was the basic standard or prerequisite to which they are going to use as a yardstick to sieve the process from age cheat. Because for me, I kind of looked at the use of NIN as the yardstick to which they can use to screen some of these athletes. I knew certainly there are some persons out there who over time have find their way through in this kind of a process. Will definitely find their way through with this very well. And for me, I think it's not a very nice initiative, though. The Minister of Sport, talking about Senator John Owaneno, at the initial stage made it very clear that though this might not be the right process, but at least it's a point that they want to start with. So for me, I believe in the nearest future, there is need for us to find or devise another means, technological way of trying to, screen some of our athletes on the technological way of trying to, screen some of our athletes on the age athlete when we are having this kind of competition, because the process of using the NI very championship and try to find, if you truly mean, that we want to go back and begin to find out raw talent, underage talent, young kids, are the rookies that we can actually nurture and get them prepared. There is need for us to devise another means in the future of trying to screen them rather than using the NIN.
Let's take a look at the National Youth Games. The Minister of Sports, Senator John Owaneno, actually came up, to say that the essence of the edition, this particular edition, is to unearth, talent. Not necessarily about winning medals or horribly result, but it's about performance and unearthing of talent. And the competition comes up tomorrow. Michael, what do you think, should be the strategy, the method that should be implemented to make sure that, the talents that will be unearthed in this particular National Youth Games, of course, will be groomed properly for the future?
It's very simple because for me, let's come to look at it. If we have some of our reporters out there live, and from the news that we got, we have seen the true rookies who are, the girl from Kaduna who is 6 years old in the Chelsea event, just 6 years old. At least you and I can see that this very person is within the age bracket, and we have some other athletes that comes from the prepare them ahead other than just letting them go. Because for me, I think if we let them go, it has also defeated the essence of this program. And every year we'll continue to spend in the name of hosting a National Youth Festival, and at the end of it all, we will not see any result. Because the only result that can be very effective and tangible is if in the future, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years down the line, we can be able to point out to one athlete and say, okay, this is the product of what we got at the National Youth Championship at Delta State.
Our correspondent today was mentioning a certain Tima, God bless, who is now doing well now in the 200 meter, a product of the National Youth Games as well.
Yeah.
And we hope to see more of Tima, God bless, of course, from this particular National youth games. And let's take a look at the medal table as Delta State, of course, still top the medal table as last time the table was released with a total of 84 medals. Lagos State, of course, they are second with a total of 45 medals. Edo State are third with a total of 45 as well. Bayelsa State are fourth with a log. There are 8 on the log. The last time we saw the medals table with 5 gold, 16 silver, 6 bronze medals with a total of 27 medals, of course, for Team Rivers. Now, we'll see how this one will pan out at the end of the day. Tomorrow the competition will come to an end, and I tell you, we'll see what, of course, the athletes will be able to showcase, at the end of the competition played in Rwanda. Now, according to the update from FIBA, the draw will take place on the 5th of October in Hungary. We hope, of course, Rena Wakama will be able to show what she knows how to do best once again in this particular qualifiers with the girls.
For sure, for me, she has shown working even when she was brought very late when the Tigress was heading for this last major women championship, where I think so many persons did not expect her to do so much well because the time of appointment collided with the time where the Tigress was about to head into a major championship, and no one gave her that.
Into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honourables, you
on the point of order.
Honourables, you they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds. I am the best.
back, Steve Sports Extraordinary on Atlantic Television Network. It's time to talk football, and we start with the Nigerian Premier Football League. The league, of course, will kick off tomorrow, and I tell you, it's actually a very huge one, especially for the fans that have been anticipating the resumption. As it is, the league has actually suffered numerous postponements, but this time around, today is Friday, 29th of September, and tomorrow is 30th, which is the resumption date, and we've not gotten any news about resumption. I think we should be realistic that we'll see the matches come tomorrow, Michael.
Yeah, we should be realistic. If there's anything to go by from the Davidson Owumi-led board and the statement they just issued a few hours ago that the league is starting on Saturday. So for me, I think let's just keep our fingers crossed and hope that the news is very authentic, because most time we've seen this kind of information that the league is going to start on a certain date that was fixed, and we've seen it being postponed not once, not twice. So for me, I will be rest assured, not until we saw the matches tomorrow. But I stand football enthusiasts all over Nigeria and across the world as well is anticipating the NPFL to start, and I'm very, very happy, very excited to see or to hear that it's going to start tomorrow. So I'm very, very ready.
Talking about resumption at the league, of course, the matches, kicking off tomorrow. We hear a lot of developments that the app that will be used to stream the matches out now. I think MPFL lovers just go online and download the app. The app is now at, and we hear that 5 matches will be streamed this weekend. I think this is a cheering news, Michael.
Very cheering news and a welcome development. If the app is out, it's good for football fans out there to go and download the app. And this is why we were, hammering on early preparation for the kickoff of the league. If just imagine if this app was out 2 weeks ago before the league is starting today, at least we will have some millions of football fans out there downloading the app already. So I think this fire brigade approach to everything that we do out here is going to, take a whole long time before we can be able to correct that. But it's a process. It's a process, and I believe the MPFL board, they are doing their possible best. But I strongly believe there is still need for them to be very, very serious in whatever they do. Just imagine if this app came out 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago before the kickoff. I will have millions of subscribers already downloading this app. But nevertheless, even if it is coming late, it is also a cheering news that football fans, especially MPFL fans, can also download the app on their phone and get ready to stream the matches live anywhere they find themselves.
All right, let's quickly bring you the fixtures, of course, that will be seen. The matches will be seen this weekend. Shooting Stars will be in action against Plateau United. We'll see Heartland FC will be in action against Lobby Stars, Sunshine Stars against Kano Pillars, and we'll see Katsina United against Kwara United, and Abia Warriors will be in action against Niger Tornadoes, and Rivers United against Shomo Star. That game has been postponed because of the continental engagement of Rivers United. Rangers will be in action against Doma United, and Bayelsa United against Aqua United. We'll see Sporting Lagos against Gombe United. And the game between Eyimba and Ben Insurance has been postponed due to the continental engagement of Eyimba Football Club as well. Michael, what do you make of this particular matches we've seen on our screens?
Well, I think it's a great fixtures out there, and I believe all these games will be a very tough game, because this is just the new season and the first game. And again, owing to the fact that there have been a whole lot of massive improvement in the NPFL last season, also followed by this season, improvement in the area of technology as well. And again, we hear that there are some secret match officials as well, secret match assessors that will also be there to checkmate, match officials, even the ref as well. I believe this one is going to give some of these clubs that confidence to be able to go away and get vital points, knowing fully well that there are some secret match assessors out there, and that will put the referee in check to be able to make the right calls, and team will be very, very fair. Anywhere they are heading to, away from home, you can be rest assured that what you give in is what you get. If your players put up a good performance out there, they are going to get a away result, and that result is going to stay. Not that after winning, maybe you score a 9-minute goal, and at the 9-minute, maybe the ref just cancel the goal because of the fact that something transpired behind the scenes. So for me, I think all these teams will be very ready and very anxious to see how the first game is going to pan out. So for this week games, I think all these games are very tough games. But one game that caught my interest should be that of Lagos, SP of Lagos, and Sporting Lagos and Gombe United. Why? Because these are just newly promoted teams, and I want to see how they are going to fare in the.
Gombe United, they've been in the league for like 2 seasons.
Yes, now. I'm talking about
Sporting
Lagos. I just want to see how they are going to fare.
All right, sir. We'll see what comes up, of course, for Sporting Lagos this weekend. Ben Insurance, they would have played with Yimba Football Club, but they will be, of course, engaging themselves in the continent this weekend against RS Berkane. Let's talk about the CAF Confederation Cup, Michael, as Rivers United will be in action at home at the Adoke Mercy Marker Stadium against Etoli Filanso of Burkina Faso. The first leg ended goalless, and now this is the second leg now at the Adoke Mercy Marker Stadium. If you take a look at it, Rivers United, they have the advantage, to make sure they get this one done and dusted. But what do you make of the encounter?
I think, like you say they have the advantage, but I want to disagree with you. They don't have any advantage. Playing at home, possibly, maybe that is the only advantage you will say they have, but any other advantage, because they went away and played a goalless draw. If their opponents that have arrived, if they get to score one goal here, Rivers United will be in trouble, because the way goal rule still stands. So for me, I think they should just approach this game with seriousness. I don't see any advantage at all, exception of the home fans that we come there to cheer them up. If actually they turn out in their number, is their media handler or their spokesman talked to us, a few hours ago when he was making it very open there, very public, that the stadium was thrown open, since yesterday, and that will enable fans, to come out in their numbers to come and cheer them. That is the only advantage I think they have. The exception of that, they should go in there, take their chances whenever it comes. They should be very clinical in front of the goal. The coach should charge his boys not to take anything for granted. For the fact that you went away and played a goalless draw is not enough for you to relax on your oath because you are playing at home, because this is football. Anything can happen. So the ball, or the game rather, is still very, very much open.
Very much open, of course. The game between Rivers United and the team from Burkina Faso, talking about Italy Filanze. We hope, of course, that they get this one done and dusted at home here. Michael, let's take a look at the other encounter as Ben Insurance will be national against RS Berkane. What do you make of this one? Ended 2-2 down here, in Nigeria, Benin City precisely. Now they're away to Morocco. Do you see this, being a victory for them or mission impossible?
This is football. You can never say it's a mission impossible. But from what I see, I think they are in a very tight corner. The Moroccans, talking about the North Africans, they play a whole lot of gimmicks, and it's always very difficult to, go out there and get a total victory for me, because I think the Benin Arsenal, they had all the chance to have buried that game out in our backyard here, but they just allowed the visitor to, draw that game. After the whole support that was given to them by the state governor as well, rallying around them. But I still strongly believe that they can be able to, if they can be able to go out there and hold their own, who can, this is football. You can never say that until the last whistle of the game. So I still believe that they have all it takes to go out there and be able to muscle a win, but it's very difficult, I must tell you.
All right, let's see how this one pan out, and we try as much again to stay away from that, as we see how, of course, this one will pan out for Bender Insurance. Really a very tall mountain, for them to climb. But we hope, of course, they can be able, to get this one done and dusted. Let's just bring you this one as we hear Mauritius Football Association has notified the Confederation of African Football of the withdrawal of the country on the 20 women's national team from the ongoing African qualifying series for next year FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup final. The Falconets were to fly to Mauritius next week for the first leg in St. Pero against the Mauritius Under-20 girls, with the return leg scheduled for the MKO Abiola National Stadium in Abuja on Saturday, 14th of October. Now, with this situation, 2022 World Cup quarter-finalist Nigeria now progress to the next round of the qualification series. Let's stay away from that as we'll move down to Europe now. We hear former Manchester United player Jesse Lingard is reportedly close to teaming up with former Liverpool captain Jordan Henderson at Saudi Arabia's side Al-Ittihad. Lingard has been available on a free transfer since leaving Nottingham Forest at the end of last season, and the 30-year-old spent time training with DC United and West Ham United over the past couple of weeks. He is currently training with Saudi Pro League outfit Al-Ittihad with the hope of bagging a full-time contract. Saudi club are reportedly ready to offer Lingard a deal if he can prove his fitness at their facilities over the next few weeks. But let's stay away from the issue of Lingard as we bring the fixtures for this weekend in the Premier League. Aston Villa, of course, will be national against Brighton Hove Albion. Bournemouth against Arsenal. We'll see Everton against Luton Town. And Manchester United will be national against Crystal Palace. Newcastle United will be national against Burnley. And West Ham against Sheffield United. Wolverhampton Wanderers will be national against Manchester City. Tottenham Hotspur will be in action against Liverpool. An interesting tie. Every English Premier League fan, of course, will want to put their eyes on that particular encounter.
Sure, that is a big game for this weekend, a blockbuster game, you want to say. Tottenham with, Ange Postecoglou, who since he came into Tottenham, he has been able to transform the Tottenham team. Even while their key man left for Bayern Munich, talking about Harry Kane, I think they have not shown any sign of, the fact that one of their key men left the club. I think Ange Postecoglou, you must give him credit for what he has been able to do so far in the Tottenham team. He has been able to bring that unity, bring that confidence back, bring that free fluent football. And I strongly believe that it's going to be a very tough game between them and Liverpool because Tottenham is in the form of their life. Liverpool as well, not forgetting what Jurgen Klopp has done. Liverpool has been very massive. They've shown character. They've shown title credentials this season. So for me, I believe these two games is a blockbuster game. But I strongly believe that it's going to go Liverpool way.
Nottingham Forest will also be national against Brentford. And let's stay away from that as we take a look at the Italian Serie A. Napoli actually came out to say that they never meant to offend or mock up Victor Osimhen in a social media post, but stopped short of publicly apologizing, to him. The club shared a video on their TikTok account of Nigeria Osimhen facing a penalty dubbed with a high-pitched voice saying, "Give me penalty, please." The 34-year-old agent has threatened legal action against the club. A Napoli statement said it was never the club's intent to offend Victor, should he have perceived it that way. What do you make of the post from Napoli about Victor Osimhen, TikTok video? A whole lot of persons are saying that the statement did not tilt towards the angle of, apologizing to Victor Osimhen. That at the moment, Victor Osimhen actually need an apology from Napoli, but the statement seemed not to actually go that way. I don't know if you agree with me.
Looking at, going through that statement that was released shortly some hours ago by Napoli Football Club, for me, I strongly believe that there was no form of direct apology. From the way they put it, it's like, though they are playing games, If you want to apologize, why not do so? After the whole blah, 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 we tender an unreserved apology. The club wishes to, tender an unreserved apology to Victor Osimhen. If actually what they posted is, he perceive it as a form of mimicking or insult to him, want to tender apology. I think that should have done the job. But the way they went about it, trying to cut corners, I think for me, there seems to know something about the admin, who posted that video, saying that if Victor Osimhen perceives such a mimicking as an insult, this is not the intention of the club. Why not put it? The club wishes to apologize publicly to Victor Osimhen. So for me, I strongly believe that the Napoli, this statement, this is not the right statement they ought to make. If actually they are truly sorry about, the perceived, attack or insult on the person of Victor Osimhen, they should have come out to apologize publicly, and that would have put the whole thing to rest. But their statement looks as though indirectly they don't want to apologize, and for me, it's quite disappointing.
Very, very disappointing, and we'll see how this, issue progresses, in the coming days. But let's bring in the fixtures in the Italian Serie A, as Leeds will be national against Napoli, AC Milan against Lazio, Lecce will be national. Bundesliga as Bayern Munich captain Emmanuel Neuer returned to team training yesterday, months after breaking his leg in a skiing accident. Neuer took part in a goalkeeping drill with Ivan Resch and Daniel Herretz, Bayern two other goalkeepers, as well as the team's outfield players. Neuer, who won the 2013 and 2020 Champions League titles with Bayern, broke his leg in December. The result had been delayed by complications with his recovery, and the 2014 World Cup winner, who was the Germany captain until his injury, is hoping to feature at the Heroes next year, which would take place on German soil. But let's take a look at the pictures we'll be expecting this weekend in German Bundesliga, as Hoffenheim will be national against Borussia Dortmund, and FC Heidenheim against Union Berlin, Bochum against Borussia Mönchengladbach, and we'll see Cologne against Stuttgart, Mainz against Bayer Leverkusen, Wolfsburg against Eintracht Frankfurt, RB Leipzig will be national against Bayern Munich, and of course on the 1st of October we'll see Darmstadt against Werder Bremen, Freiburg against Augsburg as well. Let's take a trip now as we move to Spain. Take a look at the Spanish La Liga. Barcelona, of course, will be national against Sevilla. Has not been, a poor start, for Barcelona this season.
It hasn't been a poor start for them, you want to say, but in their last two games, they seem to have struggled. Their last game before their 2-2 draw just last weekend, they had to come from behind, to win that game. They were down actually by 81st minute of the game. At the 81st minute, they were still down by 2 goals. They had to rally back into that game and won that game, by 3 goals to 2. In their last game last weekend, they had to draw 2-2. So for me, I think in their last 2 games, they seems to be struggling. They have not found that, blending to be able to get the win. But on a whole, I want to say that they have done pretty well. But as it stands right now, I think they need to get that winning, in this very game, so that's to keep them going.
Interesting. Then OC Getafe against Villarreal. Talking about Getafe, has been the performance of Mason Greenwood?
Well, for me, I think it has been a very, I don't know how to put it, but Mason Greenwood, he has not been able to live up to that. I don't know whether he's still suffering from psychological effect of what happened to him. But I think as the league, the league progresses, it's going to pick up, the momentum and be able to fit in very well.
Vallecano will be national against Real Mallorca, Girona against Real Madrid, Real Sociedad against Athletic Bilbao, and Lucia Maria against Granada, Alaves against Osasuna, Atletico Madrid against Cadiz, and Real Betis against Valencia. Cadiz against Atletico Madrid. We're going to report that I think Cadiz will be mourning the Nigerian singer Mohbad.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know the affiliation with Cadiz and Mohbad, but certainly they want to pay tribute to someone they feel is very important to them. I don't know the affiliation, like I say, but you must not be affiliated with someone who actually loves his craft before you can be able to identify with such person, whether alive or dead. So for me, I think it's a nice one to see that Cadiz is trying to, do something very spectacular in respect of Mohbad death. So for me, I think it's a great one, and he also put Nigerians' name on the world map as well.
Interesting. Let's take a look at the French Ligue 1 Strasbourg. OB National against ROC Lens, and Clermont Foot against Paris Saint-Germain, Monaco against Marseille. Also see Reims against Lyon, and Havre against Lyonnais against Brest, and see Toulouse against Metz, and Lorraine against Montpellier, and Rennes against Net. But one of the game, of course, we'll be looking out for is, I think, game Paris Saint-Germain and Clermont Foot. What do you make of that encounter? So far, so good. Luis Enrique, do you think his testing is beginning to get, what he wants in the team? Talking about Bayern Munich, Kylian Mbappe is already on 8 goals so far this season. What do you make of the Paris Saint-Germain side since Luis Enrique took over?
I think it has not been a very good start for him, and not a very bad start for Luis Enrique. At least a new coach with some new players who just came in, trying to blend into the team, and for him also trying to instill his own philosophy and pattern of play into the team, and also trying to adapt with the philosophy and culture of Paris, the PSG Football Club. Also getting to know some of these players. So for me, I think it has been a very fair start for Luis Enrique. And I want to say here that they are beginning to find their footings as well gradually, because just few hours, 3 or 4 hours ago, I was listening to the speech of El Khelaifi, the owner of PSG, when he was making statement, and he referred to Kylian Mbappe as one of their best players, and wishes that Kylian Mbappe stays even after his contract expiration. The back and forth about Kylian Mbappe with PSG, and they just concluded the season. So for me, I believe with all of this good word that is coming from the owner, El Khelaifi, and the coach as well doing his own part, I believe PSG is gradually picking their mojo.
We got the reports that Anthony has finally returned to Manchester United training ground. What do you make of that?
Yeah, it's a welcome development for Manchester United as a football club after all the whole issue of trying to clear himself from the allegation of his former.
He met with the police at Manchester Manchester.
Yes, after he just came back from Brazil, also to meet police, also to answer some questions. He came back and also meet with the Greater Manchester United Police as well to give them the support, the necessary support they need to actually investigate this issue. But I think it's a plus for him to be back into Manchester United training. At this point in time where 2 key players of Manchester United just went into the injury list, Reguilon and Martinez got injured in the last 24 hours. So for me, I think it's an added advantage to Manchester United squad.
Added advantage to Manchester United, and we hope, of course, they put up another impressive performance this weekend after they got the best from Crystal Palace in the Carabao Cup. It's been an interesting time, of course, bringing you the latest stories revolving around the world of sports. And huge thanks to Michael, of course, for doing justice on the show this evening.
It's always a pleasure doing this with you, Kingston.
Don't forget, peace and unity are the pathways to progress. We'll be back tomorrow for another exciting edition. But tomorrow, of course, it will be the Sports Personality Show. 10 a.m. is the time, and it's another time where we'll bring you another sports personality. All right, at this point, we'll call it a wrap.